Good evening, Bhavesh.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening. So turn on your video as well. How are you, Bhavesh?
Fine, ma'am.
Good. So in the yesterday's test, you have got 40 on 40 for this science, correct?
Ma'am, you're lagging.
Right, Bhavesh?
Ma'am, you're lagging.
Am I audible to you, Bhavesh?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm audible to you, Bhavesh, now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. All right. So I have seen your yesterday's test. You have got 40 on 40. Many congratulations for it. And for this week also, you should work hard for it, okay? So
Okay,
every
ma'am.
week for all the tests, you need to work hard. And this week we will have the subjective test, okay? Last week it was objective test. Ma'am will be giving you the portion, what portions are going to come, maybe today or tomorrow. Ma'am will be giving. So accordingly, you can prepare, and then on Sunday you have to write the subjective test, okay? Yesterday it was 40 marks paper for the objective test, and for the subjective it will be 30 marks paper. And in 30 marks paper, you will be getting total 6 questions. Okay. Total 6 questions will be there. The 3 questions will be of 4 marks, 4. And the remaining 3 will be 6. Okay. So how much it is? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. How much it is? What is the total of it?
Can you tell it again?
4 plus 4 plus 4, 6 plus 6 plus 6.
30.
Very good. It is 30, right? So 30 marks paper will be there, and this is the pattern of it. Okay. Now, what I am going to teach you?
Science?
Any idea? Okay, science, right? Science I'll be teaching you, and I think ma'am has already started, right? So Harshvardhani ma'am will be taking chemistry and bio for you. I'll be taking physics.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So before that, do you know what is the difference between all these three? Physics, chemistry, bio, and what is science? Do you know that? No. But we are studying about it, right? I have your school started?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So are you going to the school?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you have one teacher for science, or you have three different teachers for physics, chemistry, and bio?
I don't know about that, ma'am. They didn't even started like physics or chemistry. They're just in the
Okay.
science only.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine. So before starting the chapter of physics, I think we should know what is science, what is physics, what is chemistry, and what is bio. Correct? So as you are growing up, this all words you should know, and I'll be talking about them first of all, and then I'll be starting the class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So Bhavesh, you can close your book for time being because we are not going to start the chapter right now. So you can close your book and keep it. The moment when I ask you can. Okay. So can you see my screen? Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here the question mark is science. What we are going to study about the definition of it, what are topics related to it, and what are the branches of science. These terms will be studying what is science, what are the other branches, and what they are related with. So what they are used for it. The first one is what is science. So when we say science, what does it mean? So science is the study of the natural world via experimentation and observation. So, have you seen your mother making the idlis?
Yes, ma'am.
You saw your mother making the idlis.
Yes, ma'am.
How she make the idlis?
She like makes
How she
the
will be making the idlis? Dough. The
like
batter she will be preparing, right?
yes, ma'am.
Then,
Then she's going to keep in a like a type of shape and closes it and heats it up.
correct. So this process also includes what? It includes the science. Science is nothing, but it is actually the kind of the connection with the natural world related to the experiments. So whatever the experiment, like if the water is coming out of the tap, it includes the science, right? So if the idlis are making, if the idlis they are making at home, that is includes science. A process is included in that. Now, if the AC are working, right? At home we have the AC. Those AC are working, that is also because of science, right? So whatever the things which includes the experiments, so those are the signs. You might have, heard few of the things. Have you heard maybe from your mother or maybe from your grandparents, like we should not cut our nails in the evening time? Did you heard that? That in the evening time or the in the night time we should not cut the nails?
Yes, ma'am.
Who will be saying that? Mother, father, or the grandparents?
My mother.
Mother, right? But what happens is like, earlier it was the thought of the old person. So many years back, when the old people were there, they said not to cut in the evening time or maybe in the night time because during that time the electricity was not there. Correct? So during that time the electricity was not there. Now what happened? And they do not have the nail cutter also. Now what happened if they cut with the help of the scissor or with the help of the blade in the night time without electricity? Then what happens?
Mom will by mistakenly cut some parts of our hand.
Correct, correct. So by mistakenly, they will be cutting maybe a finger, maybe the part of maybe the skin of the finger. So that was the reason they are great grandparents and all they used to say not to cut in the evening or in the night time. But what happened? Basically, our parents, their parents, we all followed the same thing. Now I'm also following. Like since I have to follow at my home, my mother also says the same thing. I have to follow. But is this the logic? No, right? There's no logic. Since that time the light was not there, they usually used to say not to cut it. But nowadays we have a light, so no problem in cutting the nails. Okay, that is what the science. So always science includes a fact, a kind of experiment will be there, kind of proven thing will be there. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no science behind for cutting the nails. Okay, you can cut anytime whenever you want because we have a good amount of light now, good amount of electricity in the evening time or in the night time. So that is not the problem. But yes, as a parents, we should respect our parents. What as a children, we should respect our parents, whatever they say. That is what I am doing. I am listening to my mother and not cutting the nails in the night time. Same way you should also listen, but there is no fact related to it. Okay, and like so many so many facts used to be there. Same thing is what is the science is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it is a study of the natural world via the experimentation and observation. There is a science all around us. If I talk about drinking of water, if I talk about the opening of the almirah, if I talk about the AC, if I talk about the fridge, if I talk about running of the fan, everything has science in it. So each and every place, if I talk about the vehicles also, somewhere the science is present in it. So everywhere the science is present all around us. Science is currently responsible for your assistance and the fact that you are reading this lecture. So, because of the science only, you are sitting at home and reading the class, right? You're listening to the class. Same way, because of the science only, I am there on the earth and I'm able to give you a lecture. So, it's all because of the science, right? You might have heard in the science reproduction. Have you ever heard the word reproduction?
What?
Reproduction word. Reproduction.
Yes, ma'am.
What it is?
It's like reproduction means like,
Giving birth to the young ones.
yeah, that.
Giving birth to the young ones. So you might have seen
Yeah.
the females. They what do? They give birth to the young ones, right? That is also basically because of science. Because of science, they are able to give birth to the young ones. So whatever happens is because of the science. Science is also involved in the production of the air we breathe. So whatever we breathe, whatever the air we take in, and then we use it in the body, that also includes the science in it. Science is the basis for the food we eat, the water we drink, the clothes we wear, right? You might have learned the chapter fiber to fabric or about the fabric, about the clothes. Have you studied those chapters
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am?
in the grade 4?
Ma'am, I can't hear
So,
you.
what was there in the chapter? You can't hear me
Ma'am, I didn't
now?
hear the last sentence you told, like when your phone came.
Okay. So it was actually, I was talking about the fabric, clothes chapter, clothes we wear. In the class 4th, have you studied that chapter?
No, ma'am, I came here only at 6th grade.
Okay. Anything related to the clothes you have heard?
Ma'am, I read that chapter.
What was given in the chapter?
On the types of fabrics like cotton, wool, leather,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
the types of like how we can make the clothes. Like there are some machines we can make, and
Weaving, knitting,
yes,
handlooms, all those
yes,
things. Okay. So a very simple question. When your mother she washed the clothes, right? What she do after washing and drying in the machine? Does she hang it outside in the sun?
now I can see it. I can see it. Yes,
Why she is doing that? Why she's hanging in the sun, under
and
the sun?
because it will be the and because they can dry due to sunlight.
Correct,
Excessive
correct, correct. So excess of water, or maybe they get dry up, right? What process it includes?
evaporation.
Very good, Bhavesh. Very good. It is evaporation. So what is evaporation? It's evaporation is related to the science only, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So each and everything what do we do is basically the science. So if we are drinking the water, do you have the RO at your home to filter the water?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it include science?
Yeah. They add chlorine.
Correct. Correct, correct. So they will have the machine to, filter the water in the appropriate way. The molecules, the dirt particles will be absorbed by machinery, and then you are getting the filtered water, right? So water we drink also has a science. The food we eat is basically the science only about the nutrients present in it, about
It's
its
like
usage, what we are doing.
it's like the every food contains an energy. The food that we eat will give us chemical energy, and that will turn into kinetic energy and not kinetic energy. And after like it after consuming the food, after chemical energy, it will turn into muscle energy, and then we'll get kinetic energy.
So muscular energy is what? The normal energy. If I ask you to write it, so you will be using that muscular energy. And once you write it, once you complete it, it becomes the kinetic energy. So each and everything, whatever we have around us, whatever you use it in your life, this phone also, somewhere, it has a technology, it has a science in it, right? Have you ever heard the word 5G, 4G, 5G in the mobile networks?
Ma'am, I don't know the meaning of that, but I saw it.
Have you ever heard those words? 3G, 4G, 5G?
Ma'am, I saw it in my mother's and my father's phone, but I don't know the meaning of it.
Okay, so you have seen it, correct? Now I'll tell you the meaning of it actually. So what happened if I talk about, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G? So these different Gs are there. Basically, these are, related to the power of the network. The more number of G, the more power, the more network you will be getting it. Like earlier, it was only 2G was available. Okay. So what happened? The network was very slow. It was taking, if I want to download any file, it takes a lot of time to download. Then
And
after a few years, they released 3G. Then 3G was better than the 2G. Then, but it was like, a bit slow again. Then 3G was replaced by 4G after a few years. So 4G had a good speed actually. Nowadays, that 4G is also replaced by the 5G. Okay, this 5G within a second it downloads the file. Now the problem comes where? It comes to the birds, because if we want to create these
I
kind
know,
of the
I know
hmm?
that, ma'am, because of the radiation of phones, the
Yes,
birds will die.
correct, exactly. So what happened though? We are improving in technology. From the slow process of the network, we have improved on to the fast network process. But ultimately, who is getting harmed by that? The birds,
Bird.
right? The birds are getting harmed. That is why the government should always think of it. So these radiations are also related with science. Okay. So whatever things we have in and around us, it has the science with it. So science is the basis for the food we eat, the water we drink, and the clothes we wear. We can see astronomy, another field of study, by gazing up in the atmosphere. So what
Ma'am,
happened? The astronomy also has some or the other kind of the science. Yeah, tell me, Bhavesh.
I think I didn't hear you when you said about astronomy.
Okay. So when we talk about the astronomy, it is basically, about the different constellation. Have you ever heard the word constellation?
Yes, ma'am, it's like a pattern of stars.
Yeah, correct. So we have the zodiac sign. So that includes what? That also includes the science in it. Okay. Good evening, Tani. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you,
I'm
Tani?
fine.
Good. So turn on your video as well. Okay. So one of the most significant areas of study in the world today is science, which is present everywhere. So whether we are here in India, whether we go outside the India, wherever we go, each and every place, what we can see science. Okay. Now coming to the division of the science, basically we have three divisions: physics, chemistry, and bio. Okay. Physics, chemistry, and bio. Now few facts we will be learning about the physics. The fact number one: physics frequently deals with the concepts like gravity that we can prove but cannot feel or touch. So physics is something like whatever the things we do, we cannot feel it or we cannot, touch it. Like for example, uh, can you touch the
Yes.
current, flow of current?
And will die in that.
Correct, right? So that is what the physics. So if you try to do that, then ultimately what happened? The problem will be there and we cannot feel it also. So physics is something like which cannot be touched, which cannot be feel, but is ultimately indirectly or directly we will be getting the result of it. Like at home, what do we have? We have the switches, right? So those switches will be connected to the wires, and when we turn on those switch, what happen ultimately? The current will start flowing and the fan will start running now, right? So indirectly, those are connected to each other. So that is what the physics is. So AC, if I want to turn on the AC, I will have the switch, right? I'll turn it on. So will I
The
touch the wire? Hmm?
will go with wind energy.
Wind energy also we have. So different types of the energy we have which are related to the physics and which is like very, very useful, right? So flow of current will be there. So it is again a very important thing.
Uh, so
So we cannot, we are aware that it exists because years of research. So Einstein, what he did,
Ma'am,
what he did,
he created a type of physics like E equals to X plus 2,
correct.
what minus 2, I don't.
E E is equal to MC square also he has created. So so many scientific, the proven thing he has worked on. And ultimately those things we are using and we are working. So maybe in future what happen? Bhavyesh, either Tani. You will also become maybe a scientist. You will also become maybe a physicist. So basically
Uh,
the process. So you can fact number two, it
ma'am, your
in
voice is not.
we see every day cars, houses, not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes you're not audible. It's like you're
Now
good.
audible?
And now you're
No,
audible, but sometimes it's
I don't know. Like
glitch.
okay, okay. So in order to construct some of the objects we see every day, such as bridges, cars, houses, and power plants, physics enthusiasts need scientific principles and ideas. Now,
Again.
now we might have seen that wanted to construct a building. Simply they will start working for it, or they will be doing some plannings and all. If someone want to construct a school or maybe a house or maybe the bridge or maybe a car, directly they will prepare it or they will work on a plan.
Ma'am, they'll go for a plan. They'll like bring,
Correct.
gather up all the materials.
Correct. And before the materials, they will have a plan on the paper, right? They will make a kind of, you might have seen the architectures also. What do? They will prepare a map of it. So here on this road, this diameter of the bridge should be created, right? The flow of water will be this much. This will cover this many areas. So like this, they will have a plan which will be on the paper. And then slowly and gradually they will be collecting what? They will be collecting the materials. Right? That is what the physics is. If you see the bridges, it has a physics in it. If you see the cars, it has a physics in it. If you see the houses, the constructions also include what? The physics. So each and every part has the physics to play on the role. Uh, Tani, turn on your video.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Then, last fact, one of the most well-known physics created the theory of relativity, which is the foundation for time travel, black holes, and how matter transforms into energy for use in nuclear power plants. So what they did, like physicists, they worked on so many different things. So they have seen like how the time moves, how the time travels, then the black holes. where the lot of the carbon dioxide will be present and they create problems for us by creating the global warming. And then how the matter will transform, how the solid liquid gases can be transformed from one to the other forms of energy. Then you might have seen the nuclear bombs also, nuclear bombs, nuclear atoms. So
Mommy,
what they are also related to the physics. Fine. Now coming to the second category of it is the chemistry. Chemistry basically includes the chemical things. So the study of chemical processes and materials is known as the chemistry. The knowledge we have of physics is the foundation for all the chemistry principles. So if we want that, we should understand the chemistry. Before that, what should we do? We should learn the physics because physics is the base for it and the chemistry is the next step of it. Clear? So if you go to the grade 11,
कि अगर आपको
yeah, yeah, Bhavesh, you are saying something?
Ma'am, it's not my voice, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Tani, are you saying something?
no ma'am.
Okay. So, before going to the chemistry, always we should learn the physics because physics is the base, and then the second one is the chemistry. So, physics is the foundation for all the chemistry principles. That is why we should know about the chemistry. Then, fact two, it involves how atoms, the smallest particles around the world, bind together to create compounds. I think you might have seen chalk. Have you seen the chalk?
Ma'am, what?
I think you might have seen the chalk, right? Chalk.
Ma'am, chalk. That knife?
Yeah. Chalk. Chalk is basically writing on the board. We will be using it.
Oh, that. I know, ma'am.
Tani, do you have chalk at home?
Excuse me ma'am.
Yeah.
मैम समझ नहीं आया.
Tani, chalk. Do you have the chalk?
Yes
घर में
ma'am.
chalk है? Go and
Yes
bring
ma'am.
it.
Okay ma'am.
Do you have Bhavya chalk at home?
Ma'am, I have blue color and colorful
No
chalks.
problem. Any color. Any color is okay. Go and get one chalk.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am.
Tani, do you have now chalk in your hand?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Now, what do you need to do? You have to break that chalk into so many pieces. बहुत सारे पीसेस में उसको तोड़ देना है, ठीक है? तोड़ते रहना है उसको जब तक पूरी टूट ना जाए.
Ma'am, found it.
Yeah. Now, Bhavesh, you need to break that chalk into so many pieces. With the help of scale, you will be breaking.
Yes ma'am.
Is it possible to break it with the scale? Scale should not get break. Unmute yourself, Bhavesh.
I did this so many times, ma'am.
Okay, but then fine, then fine. Your scale should not get break. Okay, you have to break into so many smaller pieces till the last small
Sir.
drop of it, small particles.
Ma'am done.
Done? Show me where the particles are, where the chalk is now.
Ma'am just
अभी तो बहुत टूट सकता है ये तानी, बहुत टूट सकता है अभी तो, बहुत छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल्स करने हैं आपको.
Ma'am, I lost my confidence in breaking the seal. So
Yes,
I got a bigger one.
great. But you should not now break your fingers and all, okay? Don't get hurt.
मैम
हाँ,
मैम हमें इन्हें छोटे छोटे पीसेस में कट करना है.
कट नहीं करना है, तोड़ना है उसको. इतना तोड़ना है कि कोई आगे तोड़ ही ना पाए उसको. भावेश डन.
मैम लाइक दिस.
अभी तो पाउडर नहीं बना, पाउडर बनाना है आपने.
ओके मैम.
You should make a kind of powder actually out of the chalk. Be careful, Bhavesh. You're beating like you are going to get hurt. What happened, Bhavesh? Done, Tani? Unmute yourself, Tani. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
मैम हो गया पाउडर्स.
Very good.
No,
So the
ma'am.
powder, what? Hmm? The powder, what you have got? Bhavesh, done? Powder? Have you got the powder out of it? Unmute yourself, Bhavesh, and don't mute yourself again and again. Be on unmute, both of you.
Ma'am, I got some powder.
Okay. So I'll just tell you actually.
Ma'am, I
Okay,
muted
okay.
myself.
So the reason I'll tell you why I asked you to break that chalk into the powder form to explain it about the atoms. Now, you have converted the whole piece of chalk into the powder, right? The smallest particle of the chalk is known as what? The atom. Okay. The smallest powder particle of the chalk is known as atom. कहानी समझ में आया? सबसे
Yes,
छोटा जो पाउडर का एक पार्टिकल है उसको हम एटम बोलते हैं. And now what do we do is like those small particles of that chalk powder. When we put it together, what do we get? जब हम छोटे छोटे पाउडर के फॉर्म को आपस में पेस्ट कर देंगे, हमें क्या मिल जाएगा? What do we get? We get the chalk again, right? We get the chalk again. So the smallest unit of particle is the atom. And when so many atoms we join together, we get the compound. Okay, like if we have Tani. Tani is
yes ma'am.
Taani, right? Tani spelling is Taani. So T is a kind of atom, A is another atom, A is another atom, N is atom, I is atom, right? And when we join this all atoms together, we get the Tani name, right? So in
Yes ma'am.
chemistry, the smallest particle is known as the atom, and when so many atoms join together, they are called as the molecule or compound.
Compound.
I'm not audible, Bhavesh. Bhavesh? Bhavesh? Bhavesh, I'm audible to you. Sutani, understood?
Yes ma'am.
Now, what is atom?
Ma'am, smallest particle.
Fine. Smallest particle is known as the atom. And when we join the atoms, what do we get?
Ma'am, compound.
Very good, Tani. Very good. We'll be getting the compounds. That is what the chemistry is. Bhavesh, I'm audible to you now.
Yes, ma'am.
So, the smallest particle is known as the atom, and when we join so many atoms together, what do we get? We get the compound, right? So, when we break the chalk, the smallest particle of the chalk was the atom, and when those smallest chalk particles, when we join them, we got the complete chalk. Okay. So, complete chalk is a compound, and smallest powder of it is the atom. Clear? Active elements and use radiation to treat cancerous tumors. So basically, those people who learn about the chemistry, they are known as the chemist. And these were the chemists only who founded, some of the treatment for the tumor. Tumor is basically a kind of disease which is like the transferable. It spreads in the body so fast. And the last part is the last branch of the science is the biology. Chemistry concepts and the substance serve as a basis for bio. Now, once the person has finished learning physics, he has to learn chemistry, and once chemistry is done, then it should go for the last part, which is called as the bio, which means the study of life. So when we study about the plants, when we study about the animals, when we study about the environment, that is called as the biology. Fact number two, biology spans from studying the most minuscule structures inside cells. So it means very, very small structures we will be studying in the bio. So bio is all about studying the small or the minute organisms. They are called as the organelles. Two giant masses of land with specific climates called biomes. So from the very minute organism to a very big island or to a very big kind of land, both the studies are done under the biology. Be it small one, be it the largest one, both we will be studying under the biology. And the last one, last fact, biologists study cells. Those person who study about the biology, they are called as biologists. So biologists study cells, genetics, anatomy, and physiology of the body. So it means the person who is learning about the bio, they will be learning about the internal body also, external body also, about the DNA, about the genes, about how the organism occur, about how the organism will come in the future. So everything related to the humans or the other animals will come under the biology.
Lodge.
So this is about the three different branches of the science, physics, chemistry, and feel and we cannot touch it. Chemistry is about the chemicals, where we will be using the chemicals to do the experiments, and bio is about the life, about the nature, about the humans, about the plants, all those things. Clear, Tani and Bhavesh?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
In the next class, we will be starting with the chapter motion. Okay. I think Bhavesh, now you can open your book and you can see the chapter motion and measurement.
1 second, ma'am.
Fine. So in the book, it is given motion and measurement. That chapter we will be studying in the next week, coming Monday. Did you saw it?
1 second. Ma'am, how did you?
Motion and measurement. Motion, M-O-T-I, yeah. Motion and measurement of distance.
Ma'am, I have that chapter.
Yeah. So same chapter we will be studying, okay, from coming week onwards. Okay. So we'll meet you next time, next week. Till then, go through the chapter, children. from your book and then let me know if you want to ask something. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going
this chapter only. Yes. So read this chapter. The chapter is very interesting chapter. We'll be doing the activities related to it in the class. Okay. So Tani, you also should read the chapter from the book. Have you got the book, Tani?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So read the chapter motion and measurement, and then next week we will be discussing about the chapter. Okay.
Ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, children.
I think my mother is going to scold me now.
Why?
I just made a mess earlier.
So you have to clean it. Definitely. So go and clean it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you. Same for you.